who was killed by a stray bullet in Humboldt Park. We're live as his friends and his family remember him this morning.
Also this morning, new details about a Chicago police officer now facing criminal charges for a tasing incident.
Plus, Halloween House, a West Chicago teenager turns his home into a real haunt as we count down to Halloween, and we welcome you on this Friday, Freaky Friday.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Good morning to you. I'm Val Warner. Weekend, I think we can call it Freaky Friday, right?
It is Freaky Friday. Come on. Yes, it is Halloween weekend. I'm Mark Bavarian for Terrell on this October 28th. And, of course, the all-important forecast. Let's take a live look outside to start you off. 44 degrees out there, and it's going to be a nice day, Tracy.
It really is. I mean, our temperatures this morning, yes, we have some numbers back in the 30s, but all in all, we have gorgeous weather conditions that we'll be with right now. 35 degrees Hampshire, 30 Yorkville, so cold out there, 37 right now, that temperature in Gary. Today, we are going to see that sun out and about, and those high temperatures coming our way up around 60 degrees. Tomorrow for your Saturday, I know there are some towns that have elected to have some trick-or-treat hours tomorrow, and guess what? The forecast looks fantastic tomorrow too. Not so fantastic is the news that Roz has had in traffic.
It's been crazy out there. We've had so many weird, bizarre crashes. Right now, things are starting to settle down a little bit, but we're getting word of a new crash, possibly blocking a lane on the inbound Edens at Dempster. I'm seeing a little backup at the interchange there, a much bigger backup with this 5-car chain reaction crash on the outbound 290 at North Avenue, and that's where Chopper 7 is right now. We've got several lanes blocked for westbound traffic there. We've got IDOT on the scene, Illinois State Police, fire truck is there, so only the far right lane is open to traffic as they're trying to clear all this debris, and it hits the brakes at about Manheim on the outbound Ike main line. Val and Tanya.
All right, I got it. I'll take it, Roz. I'll take it. I got you. I got you. Don't worry.
I said it's Freaky Friday.
Exactly.
Roz.
Absolutely. 7:02. Let's turn to this story. Right now, there's a growing memorial for the 7-year-old boy who was killed by a stray bullet inside his home Wednesday night in Humboldt Park.
Yeah, this is just a horrific story. He attended school in Lincoln Park, and that's where Jessica D'Onofrio is live this morning at Newberry Math and Science Academy. Jess.
Yeah, Akeem Briscoe was a second grader here. Newberry's principal says the loss is sure to bring up a lot of questions and emotions for the entire school community. And grief counselors will be on hand starting this morning. The 7-year-old was shot in the stomach by a stray bullet Wednesday night. He was inside his Humboldt Park home washing his hands and getting ready for bed. Police say that stray bullet pierced a window of Akeem's home after gunfire erupted in the alley in the 2600 block of West Potomac. Akeem was shot in front of his mother and 2 siblings. His uncle tells us Akeem loved school and was supposed to go on a field trip yesterday.
Yes, he asked me, Uncle Tia, you should come with me. I can't go with him.
The family now planning to bury the child just days after they buried a father who died from a medical condition. Meanwhile, a growing outside the child's home. Investigators working the case, hoping to find video surveillance or other evidence which could lead to an arrest. Meanwhile, a reward to $15,000 is being offered. The tragedy drawing the attention of the mayor, and she is urging anyone who knows exactly what happened to come forward. Back to you.
Jessica, thank you. This morning, a Chicago police officer is charged in a confrontation last year involving a taser. Now, this is body cam footage from that incident in August of 2021. The county prosecutor says Officer Marco Simonetti teased a man who was cooperating with his orders. We've frozen the video right here before Joshua Habasek hits the ground face first. More than a year later, the veteran officer is now charged with official misconduct and aggravated battery.
Knew that this video existed. Multiple levels of supervisors undoubtedly saw it, and yet nothing is done.
We're in process of relief of powers because he was arrested.
Simonetti posted bond yesterday and is no longer in custody. We've reached out to the union that represents Chicago police officers, but they have not made a comment yet. Chicago police have released surveillance photos of the person wanted for a deadly shooting outside Chicago's Greyhound bus station. Investigators say this is what the suspect was wearing before the homicide on Monday. He arrived here on a bus from Minneapolis, and this is him after the shooting. Police say the suspect changed his clothes after killing 30-year-old DeJuan Gaddis. Gaddis was a Greyhound employee. No one is in custody.
Some good news for the U.S. economy. New government data shows the economy rebounded after 2 quarters of declines.
It is actually welcome news for President Biden as he faces criticism and sagging approval just 11 days before the midterm elections. ABC's Elizabeth Schultz is live in Washington with this story. Elizabeth.
Hey, Val and Mark. Well, this was a better than expected GDP report with the economy expanding in the third quarter, but are still some big warning signs ahead.
Amid recession fears and stubbornly high inflation, a show of strength and resilience in the U.S. economy. New government data finds gross domestic product grew at a 2.6% annual rate in the third quarter, shrinking for the first 6 months of the year. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen telling CNN she sees no sign of recession, pointing to strong consumer spending and record low unemployment.
We have unemployment at a 50-year low. There are 2 job vacancies for every American who's looking for work.
With his economic approval rating just 11 days to go into midterms, President Biden touting the positive news and pointing to a recent drop in gas prices. AAA reports the national average for a gallon of gas is now sitting near $3.76. That's down 8 cents from a week ago, but still higher than this time last year.
The price of gasoline's falling, and I'm going to keep pushing until they get it down.
But there are still clouds of economic uncertainty on the horizon. The Federal Reserve is set to raise interest rates again next week as part of its aggressive campaign to tame inflation. Those rate hikes rippling across the economy, sending mortgage rates to the highest level in 20 years.
For a lot of families, things are still tough.
Now, economists are debating the likelihood of a recession next year, but some companies, they are sounding the alarm. Amazon, in its earnings last night, said that it expects a weaker than expected holiday shopping season because those higher prices, that higher inflation is hitting consumers. Back to you guys.
All right, Elizabeth Schultz reporting for us live in Washington. Thank you. Back here at home, faculty and staff at the City Colleges of Chicago are rallying to drum up support for a potential strike. Is asking for smaller class sizes, greater access to remote learning, and higher pay.
We bargain at the table to bring forth a vision that is not yet realized and necessary for those we serve.
In a statement, City Colleges of Chicago says it continues to work closely with the union to reach an agreement. If a deal is not reached, as many as 1,500 workers across 7 campuses could walk off the job next week.
Happening today, Argo Community High School will break ground on the Mamie Till Mobley and Emmett Till Memorial Walkway. The West Suburban School is where Mamie Till graduated and later became a teacher. She then galvanized the civil rights movement after the murder of her son Emmett Till. A scholarship fund is also being established in her name.
A DuPage County teen is ushering in the Halloween spirit with this spooktacular showcase.
Yeah, the 16-year-old from West Chicago has completely transformed his home in West Chicago into a Halloween house. And that's where Christian Picos is this morning in all of the spookiness. Christian, this is probably the best time you've had all week.
This is definitely the best assignment I've ever had. I'm probably not going to be able to sleep for at least a week, and I'm not even sleeping already because I've got to warn. Welcome to Lehman Manor, the probably scariest haunted house I've ever been to in my life. I want to bring in Miles McCabe. Oh, there he is. He was just hiding under the green fog right here. Miles, let's come out into the daylight so we don't turn into vampires. This is such an incredible haunt that you have built over these few years. It's only gotten bigger and bigger. How exciting is it for you to see this only continue to grow?
Very exciting. I never expected it to get this big, so it's really cool to see it all come together.
So you're a sophomore at St. Charles East High School. What do your friends think when they come by your house and see this elaborate display?
Well, a lot of them know about it, but don't know how big and crazy it actually is. So I like seeing their reactions when they come see it the first time. And a lot of my friends actually act in it too, so it's cool to see.
So you have acted in this previously, but this year you have to host the guest. Oh man, who is this?
This is Colossus.
Oh, Colossus is turning on. Let's listen to Colossus. Who is Colossus?
Colossus is my favorite prop that I own. This is made by Distortions Unlimited, and he'll be talking to the crowd on Halloween.
He's so big. How tall is he?
He's around 13 feet when he stands and about 8 feet when he sits.
And you said he was something like 700 pounds?
Yes, at least.
It's amazing. I have like 100 of these animatronics. Which is your favorite outside of Colossus? Because he's an easy to go to.
Yeah, Colossus, it would probably be the Mutant, which is in the garage, yeah.
Okay. The Mutant, I've been told, is aggressive. I've already seen him. You'll have to see him yourself. Let's go over here. This is the graveyard. This is the front part of the house right here. This is the more family-friendly area, correct?
Yes. This is more family-friendly because this is where we have the info booth, the candy, so we don't make this too scary. It's mostly the walkthrough part that is
the scary part.
Yeah.
And word on the street is you guys have some great candy. So if you're looking for candy, this is the house to come to, but that's no surprise as well. What do people need to know this Saturday when it opens up for the first time?
Well, I'd say try to be here before we open because we will be doing a pretty cool opening ceremony when the countdown on our garage hits 0. So I'd say definitely try to come before the crowd and try to get as far up in the line as you can.
Okay. And you guys are expecting like thousands of people to come through at the same time, which is going to be wild to neighborhood life with all these people.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Last year we had about 1,200 come through, so we're expecting at least 2,000.
And what are you most proud of with this display? Because there's so much to show here. We can't show it in this interview, unfortunately. But what is your favorite part of the haunt?
Probably the garage portion. I think that turned out amazing this year. I'm really, really happy with the results there.
Oh my gosh. The garage portion, if you're claustrophobic, no, there goes Dave. That means it's time to go. Miles McCabe, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Mark and Val, send it back to you.
Wow, no kidding. That is just unbelievable out there.
Miles, you better be the man at school.
I just saved Dave's life.
Good job. Well done.
I was wondering, I was like, oh my
Dave,
God,
you
I'm spooked.
Got to keep on your feet, man. Got to keep on your feet. All right. Need some eyes in the back of your head, for sure. All right, thank you so much. Lehman Manor's on Lehman Drive in West Chicago. It's open to the public tomorrow through today. Family friendly from 3 to 6, a little darker and scary from 6 to 9. It's free, but donations are appreciated. Wow, that is just unbelievable. But up next, look at the first of its kind program in the northwest suburbs, giving schools to solve a healthcare workforce shortage in their community.
But first, Tracy has your AccuWeather forecast. She'll have more on 70s for high temperatures. It's in your weather outlook coming up next.
Good morning to you. We're going to take a peek at the numbers right now. 36 degrees in LaSalle. We get to Kankakee. It's 38 degrees there. Now, Oak Park at 42. But then we head toward Barrington. It's 34 degrees, 39 Hoffman Estates, 33 in Aurora, 38 degrees in West Chicago, 39 right now in Frankfort, and 39 degrees currently in Valparaiso. Our Wearcast kids, yeah, if your kids have yet to venture out to wait for their school bus, still going to want a coat, that heavy sweatshirt at least. Today, when they come home from school, our temperatures will be up around 60 degrees. Roz?
We are looking at travel times anywhere from 35 minutes to 50 minutes. That's on the inbound Stevenson, but we've got crashes now. Crews are still trying to clear this 5-vehicle chain reaction crash from the outbound 290 right before North Avenue. The delays begin, well, at about Mannheim on the outbound Ike. We still have 2 out of 3 lanes closed there, so a pretty solid delay. Then we've got 2 crashes on the Edens. They're both inbound. One is older, but one at Old Orchard that does have some lane blockage. And then we also have a crash that just happened on the Tri-State northbound, North Stevenson. So that delay goes back down to Roberts Road. Chopper 7 is just arriving on the scene on the Edens Expressway where we had these 2, and that traffic is very slow approaching both of them. So yeah, you're going to need a little bit of extra time coming in from the north suburbs this morning. Val and Mark.
All right, Roz, thanks for the heads up. And it is an Eyewitness News exclusive. A first of its kind, Northwest Suburbs is giving high schoolers a chance to solve a healthcare workforce shortage in their community. The new pilot program teaching teens to become certified nursing assistants.
So are you guys going to turn?
This is not your everyday high school classroom.
I always knew that I wanted to go into healthcare.
And these are not your everyday high schoolers.
I get a chance to get into the healthcare industry way earlier than I expected.
We could have a career coming out of high school and start as a CNA.
Mia Melchert, Carson Hollander, and Stephanie Gonzalez are just 3 of more than 40 students who are set to start their healthcare careers as certified nursing assistants. And they haven't even graduated high school yet.
I have been so impressed with this group of students. They are highly motivated, they are determined, they are prioritizing their success in this program.
CNA program coordinator Andrea Mikulinich says it's part of a first-of-its-kind pilot in McHenry County. District 155 given a $1.5 million grant to start a program to train high school students to fill desperately needed CNA roles in the community.
Anything that you would typically do to care for yourself, a CNA can do to help you when you're in a time when you maybe wouldn't be able to perform all of your self-care skills independently.
But it's not just theory and practice at this brand new facility at Central High School. It's also real-world experience at Northwestern Medicine here in McHenry County for the first time ever, partnering with students and giving them a foot in the door and the potential for a career in the healthcare industry.
It's a unique concept, but I really think it's going to be a concept that continues to grow in the future because it is so needed.
Chief Nurse Executive at Northwestern Medicine McHenry Hospital, Katie Schmidt, says there are hundreds of CNA roles open right now in the county. The district says the students completing the program could fill about 1/4 of them.
Our goal would be to retain them and for them to eventually become NM employees.
And for these high school students interacting with patients, taking vitals, doing real-world clinicals, it's the chance of a lifetime. Career inspiration that started early for Stephanie Gonzalez.
So I feel like that just gave me this desire to help others and be the advocate that other people need.
I get a chance to work with patients and be hands-on and already know what that's like at this point.
We had the opportunity to fill those voids. Thank you.
So those students could take their licensing exams as soon as January.
What an amazing opportunity and program that they're providing for kids now who already know what they want to do.
Totally. Well, and it's a chance for them to find out, hey, I'm getting real world experience, in this field. And so they're getting a jump start in so many ways. Some of these experiences working with real patients at Northwestern, it's you don't get that for 4-8 years sometimes if you're not involved in a program like this. So.
And this is your alma mater.
That was my alma mater, my high school. CLC up in Crystal Lake. That's
so
right.
What did they say when they saw you coming down the hall? They must have been so proud.
You know what? I got to see. I showed you the video. I got to see my cross country and track coaches for the first time in 15 years, and it was just the coolest experience. It was like seeing uncles I hadn't seen in a long time, and just got to hug them and say, "Oh my gosh,
that's
how
the
are
other
you doing?"
part of this story.
Yeah, exactly right. No, it was really cool.
Oh, great story, Mark. When we return, the IRS is sending letters to millions of Americans who might be due some money.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
The IRS is trying to return money to millions of people. The agency says it's sending letters to more than 9 million individuals who did not file 2021 returns because they may qualify for tax benefit and even a possible refund, especially if they qualify for the child tax credit. Special reminder letters are being sent in the coming days in both English and Spanish.
This year's report shows the highest graduation rate in a decade, and students across all demographics show learning growth that brought them back to pre-pandemic levels. One big concern, though, high levels of chronic absenteeism, especially among Black and brown students.
Parents also were conditioned during COVID that it's okay to keep my kid home. So certainly we want students staying home if they're ill, but otherwise we have to create the conditions where they feel like they want to be in school every day.
And educators say those conditions include addressing students' social and emotional needs.
Now we're getting our Good Morning America viewers.
Tanya's going to have a news update in just a bit. You'll see it. Well, when we come back, as inflation grows, it seems people are loving the prices at McDonald's.
Now, an update from ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It's 7:23. I'm Tanya Babich. They're growing memorial for a 7-year-old boy who was hit by a stray bullet that came through the window of his home. Police say Akeem Briscoe was shot in the stomach Wednesday night when he was washing his hands, getting ready for bed in his Humboldt Park home. He later died at the hospital. A reward of up to $15,000 is being offered in the case. Let's get a check of the ABC 7 AccuWeather forecast. Here's meteorologist Tracy Butler.
Hi there, Tanya. Good morning to you. Well, this morning, we don't have widespread frost like we did yesterday. Now, there are a couple of colder spots, as you can see, but 47 right now at Midway, 37 in Gary, so that's pretty chilly. 38 degrees that temperature in Peatone, and it is 40 degrees right now in Woodstock. Today's high temperatures coming in around 60 degrees. We really have a pretty decent weekend, especially tomorrow. We will take a break, Roz, after this.
Now's the time for a healthy. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got a delay on North Central service. This time around, it's train 108 because of freight train interference. It's actually stopped, and it's been stopped for the past 15 minutes, so we'll let you know when it's on the move. On the expressways, there isn't a whole lot moving. We've got travel times averaging 40 to 50 minutes. We've had a few crashes. Even the Dan Ryan is really slow because of a crash on the outbound Kennedy at Madison, so it's backing up onto the inbound Ryan. Crews still working to clear the crash. Multiple vehicles outbound on the 290. Near North Avenue, that is still pretty solid. And the northbound Tri-State, we had a crash near the Stevenson. It's on the shoulder, but take a look at our tollway camera on the Tri-State at LaGrange Road. We are still looking at some heavy traffic approaching the scene. It's actually the other tollway camera. I may have misspoken and given you the wrong one. Because the other one, yeah, that's the delay I was talking about. The headlights match bound Tri-State delay.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Look at that shot there. Yesterday morning, we were about in the 38, 39. So we're already starting off a little bit warmer, and we are in store for a fantastic Halloween weekend. As the price of just about everything rises, it seems more people are visiting Metra. The Illinois-based company announcing sales are up more than 6% this year. Prices at the fast food chain are increasing, tell me about it, but not as much as grocery prices have. The chain also believes its adult Happy Meals and celebrity partnerships have helped boost sales. What celebrity partnerships do they have?
Have you tried an adult Happy Meal? Have you tried one of those? I haven't either.
I've got my go-to is the filet of fish meal.
Oh, filet of fish. I'm a double cheeseburger. Ooh. That's it. Double cheeseburger, some fries maybe.
Yeah. Hot fries.
Hot fries. Hot fries, salt, pepper. Shake it up in the bag. Yeah.
And look at this, the McRib. And for those of you that love the McRib sandwich, McDonald's is
I think it's coming back.
Yeah, bringing it back.
It's coming back. It's bringing it back for yet another farewell tour. Yeah, the McRib's developed a sort of cult following. The sandwich has been around for more than 40 years in an off and on fashion, and a few farewell tours. McDonald's claims this is it for now. To come back, it comes back to restaurants Monday on Halloween, and you have until November 20th to enjoy what McDonald's calls a boneless pork sandwich dipped in barbecue sauce.
I've tried just about everything at McDonald's. I've never tried it.
I've had a McRib.
Is it legit?
I'm into my double cheeseburger.
Okay.
Let's just say that.
Say less.
I'll take that.
Coming up this morning, National Pizza Month is coming to a close, but we're celebrating with slices from one of Chicago's favorite pizzerias.
And still ahead, we talk with the family of Stacy Peterson 15 years after her disappearance, why they say more work needs to be done to find her.
You're watching ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
Let's take a quick look at some of the stories we'll be watching for you today. Today marks 15 years since Stacy Peterson disappeared. The mother of two was married to former Bolingbrook Police Sergeant Drew Peterson. He's a person of interest in her disappearance, but has not been charged. He's in prison for the murder of his third wife, Kathleen Savio.
Also today, Argo Community High School will break ground on the Mamie Till Mobley and Emmett Till Memorial Walkway. The West Suburban School is where Mamie graduated and later became a teacher. She's credited with galvanizing the civil rights movement after the murder of her son, Emmett Till. A scholarship fund is also being established in her name.
And ribbon cutting for one of Chicago's favorite ice cream shops will happen this afternoon. The folks with the original rainbow cone are opening up another location inside of Buona Hardwood Heights. This is going to be a dual concept restaurant where you can grab an ice cream cone and some food as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's good. Good morning. Welcome back. I'm Mark Rivera in for Terrell.
And I'm Val Warner. Good to be with you. It's Friday morning, stepping outside, and this is running weather or exercising weather, if you like it, cool this morning. And we are in store for some nice temperatures, Trace.
We really are. I mean, out of the gate this morning, not too bad. Although do get into some of the far west suburbs over in northwest Indiana, and we do have temperatures in the 30s. 5 degrees right now in Morris, 37 degrees in Waukegan, 39 in Valparaiso, and 37 degrees currently in Gary. Today, yeah, sun is up. We are seeing it. There are some clouds out there right now, but we will work more sun into that forecast picture through the day today. We'll have your complete forecast, the 7-day coming up for you in my next report, but Roz has been reporting on many issues in the traffic department this morning. Roz, what's the latest?
I'll tell you what, Tracy, there is nothing worse than sitting behind a freight train when you really are on a schedule and you have to be somewhere. Now we've got 2 delays on Metra. The first one, North Central service we told you about, it's train 108. It is now on the move, but about a half hour late. Now we've got one on the UP Northwest, train 618. 20 to 25 minutes behind schedule because of freight interference. On the expressways, not that bad. We don't have any new crashes. Your travel times are anywhere from 30 minutes to 50 minutes, and that would be on the inbound Stevenson. The only crash that we're still dealing with now is outbound on the 290 at just before North Avenue. They're still trying to clear that up, and the delay goes all the way back to about First Avenue on the outbound Ike. Val and Mark.
You are absolutely right, Roz, about being stuck behind the train.
Seriously.
Worse.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, police in New York are investigating whether a popular challenge on social media is to board a crash that killed 4 teenagers.
The so-called Kia challenge is already blamed for a huge spike in car thefts across the country. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
The 16-year-old driver involved in this tragic crash in Buffalo, New York, who police say may have been motivated by a challenge on social media, is due in court today. 4 passengers were killed, ages 14 to 19.
The car was reported stolen.
Authorities say the teens may have been attempting a challenge popular on TikTok, which encourages people to steal Kia and Hyundai vehicles due to an alleged defect in the cars that allows them to be easily hot-wired.
I know Kias are widely published. The Kia Challenge, as it's called, they are very easy, unfortunately, to steal.
Hyundai is the parent company of Kia. Kia America acknowledging the problem, saying while no car can be made completely theft-proof, Kia America has pledged to work closely with local law enforcement in their fight by providing at no cost steering wheel locks as an optional safeguard. Many cities are seeing an uptick in overall car thefts. In Buffalo, car thefts are up 90% since 2020, with 253 Kias and Hyundais stolen this year. In Los Angeles, 1,600 Kias and Hyundais have been stolen this year.
The TikTok challenge is just basically teaching people how to do it, which is pretty crazy.
If you drive a Kia or a Hyundai, I would be on the lookout.
In September, nearby Orange County sued Kia and Hyundai, blaming older technology in the cars for the spike in thefts. City officials in St. Louis also threatening to sue. They're asking the company to issue a recall.
It just needs to end. It's not victimless. It's not a simple joyride. It's hurting a lot of people.
The 16-year-old driver in Buffalo was ticketed for criminal possession of stolen property. More charges are expected. As for those Kias and Hyundais being targeted, police say the models affected were from 2010 to 2021. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Oh, what a horrible story.
No, I know. And just having that be a challenge on TikTok and then leading to so much so much heartbreak, really.
Right, for the families
it's
of those
awful.
4 kids
Yeah.
killed in that. Yeah. And I don't, is this not something that TikTok can ban?
Can put down, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
You report when you have horrible things, say comments like
Sure.
there's got to be something that can be done. to
sort of
make
content
sure,
moderation.
when it's out that it's pulled immediately so kids are not seeing this or being influenced by this.
Yeah, that's
But start talking about parenting, that's a whole nother conversation. ABC 7 Eyewitness News continues streaming out loud after the break. We're 90 seconds.
Good morning to you. Clouds are departing. We still have some out there, but the clouds did many of us a favor in that our temperatures didn't fall too low in many spots. Now we do still have some cold places. Let's go around the board a little bit here right now. 42 degrees currently in Oak Park. You get 39 right now in Glenview, 40 Lake Forest, 33 in Barrington. Out in West Chicago at 38 degrees, 38 right now in Auburn, in Sugar Grove and Aurora. At 33 degrees. We now have 39 in Frankfort and 39 in Valparaiso. Today, I'm so excited about the weekend forecast. I know we have so many Friday night high school football games tonight. Kickoff for many of them 7 p.m. You can see the temperatures through the evening. I know there are also playoff matchups tomorrow, and the weather is going to be very cooperative. Don't have to worry about sloppy, muddy fields with rain. We will just see sunshine and high temperatures tomorrow back into the 60s. Roz?
We have a new suburban crash to tell you about. This just happened in Darien. It's on Cass Avenue, a little bit south of Plainfield Road. So we have that area, particularly on northbound Cass. Big picture, we've got travel times ranging anywhere from 35 to 50 minutes, but no new crashes on any of the expressways. Northbound Tri-State is still sluggish approaching the Stevenson. We had an earlier crash there. We also have some heavy traffic on the inbound Ryan because of an earlier crash on the out Kennedy, but this is our White Sox camera, so 35th all the way in is pretty solid right now. And yes, we are still recovering from a multi-vehicle, 5 cars, crash on the outbound side of the 290 near North Avenue. Still solid red all the way back to about First Avenue on the outbound Ike. So the outbound Eisenhower travel time is going to be a little bit elevated for now as well. Keep that in mind and just be careful out there. Val and Mark, back to you.
All right, Roz, thanks for that. I'll let it's time. On the round table, you know, raising kids is not easy. It sure makes it better when you can talk about parenting with other mamas. So let's bring my fellow mamas, Laura, a.k.a. Mama Fresh, and Corey Bell, a.k.a. Corey B. Hey, ladies. Happy Halloween weekend to you.
Hey. Good morning.
Good morning. We know, Corey, your babies are off at school. Where are your babies, Jenny?
The hell, they're cute. Like, they're here. They are uniformed. We are dressed for school. We are just like some other kids getting started. Yes, on this long, and right after this, I go from here to drop off. So my babies are here.
Okay, well, I'm so glad you squeezed in a little time for this. Let's start talking about this, having these tough talks with our kids about safety. You guys watch the news. I do the news. By our current count, 298 children have been shot across Chicago this year. 41 of those children have died. With Halloween weekend coming up, how do parents, or what should parents do to talk to their kids about being safe and making them understand that it's dangerous right now out there? And I'll kind of start just a little bit by setting this up, because as a mom of a 15-year-old boy and someone who has to read the news now every single day, it is tough because I tend to internalize a lot of the news stories that I have to report on. So I'm super paranoid as a mother. I was already paranoid anyway, but now it's like, I want to shelter. I know that that's not the answer. So this is where I struggle with, not letting him go places, or, being the person that goes with him, because I want to protect him always. But maybe you guys can give some insider advice on it. And Corey, you probably should go first because you've got kids older than me. Tell me what I should do.
Val, I'm going to be very honest. You know me, I normally come in with all of the right answers, and at this time I don't have them, because I also have a 15-year-old, but I also have the 17-year-old who now has his own car. He's driving. He wants his parents. He won't be able to go. And I am more afraid now than I probably ever have been. So it's like we go through the drills. We talk about what you do when you leave the house, when you should call, turn your location on, what to do, but you can never really be prepared. It's like, the rules, keep your eyes open and keep your head on a swivel, because it's everywhere now. We used to be able to say, oh, don't go here or don't go there. Right. But now it's kind of like it's everywhere. Yeah. So I'm just, I'm like you, Val, my anxiety is up. I'm praying, and we're just kind of keeping them when we can at home as long as we can.
Yeah, same here. And Jenny, you got 2 baby boys who I'm sure this has been at, the forefront of your mind, just about talking to them and just watching them grow up in a city that's changing.
So yeah, in the past, you would have thought at 6 and 2 that I had a little bit of time for this, that I didn't have to have these tough conversations. But in the recent wakes of school shootings and mass violence, in these settings where our kids are going daily, these are conversations I'm already having to have. At 6, Q goes to a public school. He's already had a lockdown drill. So that's a conversation you have to have. You have to prepare them for. So this is, these tough conversations are not going in, and they're starting younger and younger.
Yeah, I actually, the school shooting that just happened earlier this week on Monday in St. Louis, I believe, there's been so many now I can't keep up, but I asked Max as soon as I picked him up from school, I go, I'm sure you guys have been doing mass shooter drills or lockdown drills at Whitney Young at high school, and that's what's happening now. And Q, 6 years old, having to learn how to do drills in case any see at his school. It is where we are at the same time. So yeah, I think when you said, Corey, keeping your head on a swivel, that is so important. And I know we say that to Max too, and we just have to trust and pray that they're going to make the right decisions when they're out there as well. All right, let's get to this next topic. Is multi-generational living the answer for isolation of motherhood? Who's laughing?
We all are.
We all are cracking up.
Who wants to tackle this first?
It's on you, Jenny.
Because you know what? I think that this is the real life action of, everybody talks a good game. We talk about it takes a village. It takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to support a mother. And it is true that our generation is really, and maybe one generation above us, is really having parenthood in isolated stands where it did not used to be that way. So if parenthood feels harder or tougher than the generations before us, your mother said, I never had these issues, most often surrounded by a sister, a mother-in-law that lived around. So I don't think that this is crazy. Now for myself, do I want my parents moving into our home? I don't know, Corey. My husband travels a lot.
Is your mother watching this right now?
Yeah, of course my mama's watching. I would believe me. After she comes to stay with us, we try to get her to stay here as long as possible. She is so ill. My mom and dad retired, are like a different beast. I would love to have them here as much as possible. I don't know about live, but it's only extended guests.
Yeah. For me, when you have 5 children, you want everybody out. The mama, the kids, the dog. But I do understand. I remember growing up in the village. I remember living in the big house, my aunts, my grandmother, the people down the street. And we don't have that anymore. That's why we don't really have that sense of community. And I also remember my mother and my husband's mother, like, daycare. We ain't putting them babies in no daycare. You bring them babies over here. So I remember that. And now, even with leaving, to sometimes having to go out of town, they're bigger kids. But it's like now, where is that community? Now, can you just come stay for a little while? You don't really have to live. You can come hang out. Like, come for a little while. We'll build you a coach house in the back.
Okay.
But I'm with it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm smiling and laughing because I've actually done multi-generational. I lived with my mother. Well, I lived with her when I got a divorce years ago, and then I ended up having her just move in. I was a single mom, and I needed that support and needed that help, and she was happy to do it. She was living alone. Now, fast forward, moved her closer to the city, and she's watching this. So I'm not saying anything that she doesn't know. She sends me listings all the time because she is excited for us to all live now. Because I had a whole husband who, a birthday twin, and she's gotten more people to talk to. Yes, because they both love to talk. So she can't wait for the idea of us all being back together. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it too, in a little bit.
Right.
In a little bit.
Dallas is a newlywed, y'all. But she is still living a newlywed life. So I can give it a little, but like they used to do. It's a new generation.
It is. But
these grandmas go out.
But the good thing about my mom, though, is she is very. I was listening to Jenny. Your parents are real chill. One thing I have to tell my mother when she comes over, I'm like, don't start talking about this junk house. Don't rearranging things. Like, I have to lay down rules. But I think she's even chilling out on that. That part brings me a little bit of anxiety. So I'm like, okay, if she just relaxes a little bit more, Mom, are you watching? Then maybe we can escalate the plan to move in together. But she loves to cook. Not my ministry. So that's great. And she's great. She's an English teacher. So when Max has English homework, fantastic. So there's a lot of benefits. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But I'm into it.
I love it.
At the end of the day, I am into multi-generational living. Okay, Corey, I know you got the craziest busy weekend. What you got coming up, girl?
Listen, we got Riddles. I am hosting Riddles November 11th, 12th, 4 shows, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, which is going to be amazing because it's a legend show. I have the amazing Melanie Camacho is going to be in town, and Sean Larkins. And you never know who else is going to stop through, child, is Riddles. So that is November 11th and 12th at Riddles. The tickets are already on sale, but this weekend I will be with Monique taping Netflix, her legendary Netflix special. So I'm excited about that.
Yes, we are so excited for you. And Mama Fresh, you are busy with your 2 beautiful boys. Thank you, ladies, both for taking time out to do a little Mom's Roundtable with me, and hopefully all the other mamas at home watching right now. Have a great weekend.
Halloween weekend, everyone.
Bye, guys. We'll be right back, everybody.
It is finally Friday.
Yeah, the weekend is approaching, so let's get a check on Festival Friday with Roz. Hey, Roz.
Hey, guys. It's all about happening this weekend, so let's get right to it because there's a lot going on. And we start with a parade. This one is the Arts in the Dark Halloween Parade right in front of the station. It's the grand finale of the city's Halloween program and steps off Saturday at 6 p.m. at State Street, travels down Lake to Van Buren. This dazzling production includes unique flow, spectacle puppets, and creative performances. Now, we've got this going on in North Halstead. Haunted Halloween Parade. They'll have no shortage of amazing and unique costumes there. It steps off Monday and actual Halloween night at 7:30 and features dance performances, drag queens, parents, kids, pets, and a costume contest in 5 different categories. There's no better way to celebrate Dia de los Muertos than at the National Museum of Mexican Art at their Dia de los Muertos Chicago. First, you see the exhibit, and then Saturday afternoon, you go outside the museum and its surroundings filled with ofrendas. Those are altars created community members, along with live music, art activities, and a large illuminated ofrenda projected outside the museum. Not everything's about Halloween. You can return to magic and magistry at the North Shore Center for Performing Arts with the classic musical Camelot. It's presented by Music Theater Works and runs through November 13. Immersive theater fun, check out Southern Gothic at Windy City Playhouse at Petorino's on the other side of the station on North Dearborn. You actually follow the actors from room to room, scene to scene in this play that takes place in 1961 Georgia. It's about 4 couples celebrating one of them's 40th birthday, and everyone's experience is a little bit different because you get to choose which room you want to go to. This weekend, if you come dressed in 1960 styles, you'll have a chance to win some pretty cool prizes. And, you know, that is the most type of theater. I've never seen anything like it before.
It's very intriguing to me, the room by room thing. That sounds so cool, Roz.
Yeah, and you're a fly on the wall. You cannot interact with the actors. They cannot interact with you.
All right, well,
very cool.
We'll have to check it out. We'll be right back.
Eyewitness News, streaming at 7, continues after a break.
Well, the month of October is almost over, which includes the end of National Pizza Month.
I know. It's October 1st, thin crust, deep dish pizza lovers. They've been celebrating all things pizza. We've got some right here, showcasing another popular Chicago pizza.
I think you should try it because you know what? You've been up a long time. You need your carbs. You can
I'm in
for the
on
rest
this.
of the day.
I'm in on this every
I'm
day.
going to read the rest of this. Giordano's
go
Pizza
for it.
has been serving us slices of their world-famous stuffed deep dish pizza since 1974. So that's going to do it for us, everybody. Have a fantastic and safe Halloween weekend.
That's
Tanya's
Friday.
going to have news updates coming up in a second.
Now, an update from ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It's 7:56. I'm Tanya Babich. Chicago police have released surveillance photos of the person wanted in a deadly shooting outside of a Greyhound bus station. Police say the suspect changed his clothes after opening fire on 30-year-old Dewan Gaddis. This is what he was wearing before the shooting. And now we're going to show you a picture of what he was wearing after Gaddis, a Greyhound employee, was killed. We'll check on weather and traffic for you up next.
Good morning. We have a gorgeous blue sky out there this morning. Temperature wise, we're at 44 at O'Hare, 40 Joliet, 38 in Piatone, 42 Waukegan, and 39 degrees right now in Valparaiso. Really going to be a very nice day with lots of sunshine. High temperatures today up there around 60 degrees. As for tomorrow, yeah, another beautiful day. Highs in the 60s. Sunday, we get an increase in the cloud cover, and some showers are going to make their way into the area here tomorrow or Sunday evening. Roz?
Times are actually starting to come down. They're dropping under 40 minutes. Your average is closer to 35 minutes on most of the inbound expressways. Now, we've got this delay on I-88 near Yackley. There's a crash shoulder, but everybody's staring at it, so it is causing a pretty substantial backup. Got a couple of crashes in the burbs out to the west in Warrenville. There's one at Route 59 in Batavia, another one at 59 in Butterfield, and we also have a crash that is causing delays in Elgin. This just happened. It's at McLean Boulevard and Erie, so you can see the traffic, mostly northbound traffic, is slow in that vicinity.